Tarver.
Let me ask you a question. How many monuments do they have? One for the Indians, one for the whites, one for the Hispanics. They have how many monuments do they have in Louisiana?
There are many monuments and memorials for Caucasians in Louisiana. There are none for Native Americans. There's a small sign up on the hill in the Veterans Park in honor of Choctaw people and veterans, but it's rather small. There are no memorials in honor of African Americans in Louisiana. This will be the first.
Do you think that since all of us supposed to be Americans, do you think that it should be just one monument instead of all these monuments?
No, I don't think so, Senator Tarver. I think that there are certain groups of people who have been denied their inherent right to freedom in this country, including my own people. My people are.
And they just took your land. They took my people.
That's
okay?
right. And we weren't citizens. We fought in World War I, and we didn't gain citizenship until 1921, 4 years after the war ended.
You gained citizenship before we did. So, but let me say this to you: I'm a Vietnam veteran.
I know you are. I know a little bit about your background.
And when I went in Vietnam, I saw black people killed, white people, Hispanics, but they were the Americans. Why we keep up this segregation like this? Why we just don't have one monument with everybody on it? Because all of us Americans. The biggest problem we have in this country, we dividing everything. We at a point that one of the biggest problems in this country is race. And if we don't face that today, we'll wind up facing it tomorrow. Well, why we keep up this segregation like this?
Well, I don't think we're creating a separation.
You mean having a monument for black, having a monument for whites, having a monument for Indians is not keeping up segregation?
No, I really don't think so. I think if you look at the Minuteman Memorial there in the park, it is an honor of everybody. But the features on that is
But you're keeping them segregated. We once we come to the realization we need to be one America, not 2 or 3 or 4 or 5, 6 Americans.
Senator, we not there yet. This
I
bill,
agree. We definitely not there yet.
This bill, as Colonel Strickland said, is not to erase history, but let's make progress. So we don't have just one right now. And this bill is addressing.
Well, why don't we don't tear them down and let's build one?
Well, I'll work with you on that, but before we get to that point, let's try to recognize. And I think, and Madam Chair and members, I want to thank you. I know you got a long agenda, but this is part of the problem, Senator. We don't talk about some of this past that stops us from getting to where we're trying to get. And I agree with you. We need to be one America, but you can't do that until you make up for the past shortcomings. So I respect your position, but the bill that's before you today is to address a population that has been left out. Dr. Aaron, Colonel Strickland have identified the sacrifices that we haven't even taken time to recognize. And I want to thank the committee for listening.
Boudreaux, I know we've been left out. I'm 75 years of age. We've been left off a long time.
I agree.
Over 200 or 300 years. But I'm saying, are we going to keep on promoting segregation?
Yeah, and I hope you don't look at it as the intent of the bill to continue that. I look at it as an opportunity for us to recognize African Americans who, just like you, who've made the ultimate sacrifice and have never been recognized under Colonel Strickland's leadership in Veterans Affairs, Senator Reese and others. We're trying to get to where you're going, but you know there are 10 steps before we get there, and this is one of those steps that's going to get us there.
1,000 miles begin with a single step.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. And we're going to take a few at a time.
A few at a time.
Get there. Yes, sir.
We don't want to leap. We want to take a few at a time, huh?
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, Senator. I didn't see that coming. But I appreciate your words and the discussion, and I think that we all want to be part of that same discussion.